Welcome back to the Lions Review. As promised, here's the Frozen Horror video. So I found a few websites on Reddit that were advertising the Frozen Horror for HeroQuest. I'm assuming these are the newer versions. 2 out of 3 don't have any pictures, but the third one does have pictures. So I will show you those in a moment. You can see here, this one is a Swedish site, and that price comes out to roughly, I would say, about 42, 43 bucks in US dollars. Here's a Spanish site with the euros. Again, no pictures. This one, the price, I would say, is probably closer to what it will be, over $50. I think this would probably be about 55, 56 bucks, maybe even 57. And you can see here they actually have a date of August 31st. So we're going to assume that this is coming out around that time, or at least expect it to be announced around that time, or become available. Whether or not we'll be shipping at the time is another question. And let's move on to the third site here, another Swedish site. This one I like because they got the pictures on here. Again, I'll point out release of the third quarter of this year. So you can see they pretty much kept the picture the same, updated, but still mostly the same as the original Frozen Horror set. And they also include a picture of what you get if you were to buy this. The only thing that are missing out of these pictures are the cards. They didn't have any pictures of the cards that you actually receive. And they didn't, these are going to be dual-sided. They only took pictures of one side, it looks like. There's 3 separate tiles, or tile sheets, but those should be double-sided. Again, the front and then the back. Now I saved these pictures so that I could zoom in on those, so I'm going to go over those and point out some things that I noticed. Alright, so here's a few pictures. I did share some of these previously on a separate video that I did back to show you what you would get, or at least what was included in the original one. So again, the box art is very similar. And then here's what you're getting in your new version of this. Zoom in a bit here so we can look at these contents. So you can see you're getting the 21 miniatures base, or I'm sorry, the original one only had 15, so you're getting 6 additional, mainly because of these men-at-arms. Now if you're looking at this, you may say, well, wait a minute, it says times 3, so that would be 8 additional. Why is it only 6? Well, if you remember, with the original you had 6 men-at-arms, but they had interchangeable weapons. So right here where their arms are, you can see that you just kind of plug these in depending on what you need it. So that's one of the differences that they have here. Zoom out a bit so it's not so blurry. And then as far as the other miniatures are concerned, they're pretty much on par with what you received last time. You know, the polar war bears, the ice gremlins, the yeti, the female barbarian, and the Frozen Horror, him or herself. And one thing you'll notice is this base. In the original, the Frozen Horror was considered a large monster because he took up 2 squares. Looks like they're going to keep that in this version. I was kind of wondering about that because they didn't do it with the dragon and the mythic tier. And I thought for sure if they did a dragon, it was going to be considered a large creature, take up more than 1 square, possibly even up to 4 squares. So when they only did a single square, I was a bit surprised by that. But here they're sticking to the original, it looks like. And then as far as the dungeon doors, that was something you did get with the original as well. Of course, back then there were cardboard inserts that you just kind of slid down into the base. And then you're getting 35 game cards. If you watch my previous video, you would, if you were doing the counting, or I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but it was only 30 cards, not 35. So what are those extra 5 cards? Well, I can almost guarantee that 1 card is going to be for the female barbarian. So the other 2 are, or I'm sorry, the other 4, can't do math. The other 4 are going to be the potions that you got with this. And here you can see those 4 potions that were included inside the quest book for the barbarian quest. Thanks to Ye Olde Inn for having this PDF out there that I could grab quickly rather than having to pull my version out and take a picture of it. So the other, oops, I didn't mean to change that. So the other things that they include, the cardboard tile sheets. Now keep in mind that these are going to be double-sided. I know they're only showing one side in the pictures, but they will be double-sided. I'll show you those pictures again. I took some pictures for my previous video. I still have those, so I'll just spin through those real quick in a moment after we go through these contents. So you can also see you're going to get these 6 combat dice. That's a nice touch. That did not come with the original ones. They did give us extra dice with the mythic tier, so maybe this was just a way of rewarding some additional dice to those that wanted them. If you buy this set, you're going to get what looks to be a ice theme type of dice set, which is nice that they're doing something like that. They're also giving you these extra movement dice, which I kind of wish they had done something like that with the mythic tier. You know, I was happy to get the extra combat dice, but I really seem to need movement dice more than the combat dice, especially, you know, having played this before on the original series. That was always the thing. I always wanted extra movement 6-sided dice. Just made it easier when you have more people playing. And then there's a pad of character sheets, which they also made pretty much look like the ice thing. I think I have another picture of that, so I'll zoom in on that for you. So again, the original box miniatures. So here is kind of everything that's coming in your box set, except again the cards. For whatever reason, they excluded cards in these pictures. So these tiles, there's 3 sheets here. This is one sheet here. You can kind of see where this white line is here and here. So one sheet is probably your main sheet, and these are some additional room sheets. These are double-sided. They would have to be to have all the rooms that were included in the Barbarian Quest. The book, again, you got 10 quests. Slight spoiler alert here, but in that quest book you're going to have 3 solo quests for the Barbarian. You're going to have 5 regular quests, and then there's going to be a double quest at the end. So quests 9 and 10 are bundled together. The Barbarian quest and Elf quest were similar in that fashion, where the last 2 were one large quest, if you will, where you played, cleared off the board and played again. I think with the Barbarian one, they're not really, well, one of them I know you may go between the 2 boards, or maybe I'm just thinking of the Dark Company, which is another huge quest that was included overseas, not so much in North America. But you know, the point is that you're going to be playing on more than one board. So what would happen is, as you traversing to the next map area, if you will, you will clear off the board and start that new map area. So as far as everything else is concerned, if I zoom in on this sheet, you can see they kind of gave it the ice theme touch to it. So you got the icicles on the battle axes here. You've kind of got like a frost or something going on with the background, and then like ice here. This kind of reminds me of the ice tiles that they have, like these up here. And then again with the miniatures, you can see he's going to be the large miniature. Here the dice actually look a little more transparent. That may make them kind of hard to see. So I think they're going to be more like they were on this previous picture, more solid, just to make it easier for you to read them when you're playing the game. And then movement dice. So I think it's a pretty good set. Obviously, if you don't own the Frozen Horror, this seems like it would be a great pickup for you, especially if you're enjoying HeroQuest. For those of us that do own the Frozen Horror, we're kind of have a call to make, especially when it comes out. And I think that call, if you're like me, is probably going to be based on what they price it at. Obviously, I already own this. The only new stuff for me would be additional character sheets. You know, these doors are slightly, you know, they're slightly themed for, I guess, the ice part of it, you know, Frozen Horror part, versus the doors we got with the other expansion sets. And of course you get the Men at Arms, which would be a nice pickup. You get another miniature for a female barbarian if you need one. You get the extra dice as well, and depending on the price, maybe that'll make it worth it. But you know, if anything, I guess I'll have to wait and see what they're asking for it. And then again, just to cover what was included in the original one, you of course had the men arms cards. They were part of the 30 cards that you received with the original one. Same with the monster cards, the extra the artifact cards. That's the word I'm looking for. The extra spell scrolls cards, and then these were treasure cards that you mixed in with your treasure deck. So you had 2 of each. So 2 poison, 2 potion of magic resistance, and 2 potions of warmth. And then of course you have the chaos spells, or in this case I guess it would be the dread spells. And then the tiles themselves, which again double-sided for most of them. Some of them just had the same graphic on both sides, like these tunnels, these ice tunnels. I think the magic ice were also identical to that in the crystal key. And then here are your room tiles, and again those are also double-sided. Actually this is a corridor tile, but you get the picture. So this is what you're getting with your Frozen Horror, or at least very similar tiles with a new set. Again, it doesn't look like it will be out until 3rd quarter. Pricing is probably going to be mid 50s to 60 US dollars is what I'm estimating it to be. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Anything could happen within the next few months that would affect pricing. We all know prices are going up, so it could be even more than $60. So we'll have to wait and see. But there you have it. Hope this gives you enough information to either get you excited for it or at least help you make up your mind whether this is something you want to invest your money in. So take care. Talk to you all again next time. Bye-bye.